So today we're going to talk about the intercepts and zeros of a function, and we're only going to talk about them, how to find them graphically. So the x and y intercepts, hopefully this is kind of intuitive for you guys, but the x-intercept is just where the graph crosses the x-axis. And remember, x-axis goes horizontally, and this point is usually written as an ordered pair. The y-intercept is where the graph crosses the y-axis, and that is your vertical axis there. Again, usually written as an ordered pair. You could have more than one x-intercept and more than one y-intercept. So anytime your graph crosses those axes, that's called an intercept because it's kind of thinking like intersecting that axis. Okay. The zero. Zero is maybe not as intuitive. It's basically where your function's value is zero. So in other words, it's the value of x when the range is zero. So it's not above or below. It's right on that horizontal line. So basically, it's really the same as the x-intercept. So if you can find the x-intercept, you have found the zero on your graph. Okay? They are synonyms. Okay? They mean the same thing. Really, the only difference is normally you don't write a zero as an ordered pair. You just give the value of x. So we'll see what that means in a minute. So let's say you have this graph here. This arrow here is pointing to this point where our curve crosses our y-axis. So this point here is the y-intercept. Okay? And then down here, we have two boxes, box here and box here, and they're pointing. Notice this graph crosses, x-axis, crosses it here, this is the y-axis, crosses the x-axis again here, and then it goes through it again. So we actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 x-intercepts. So this is interchangeable. You can write x-intercepts down here, or you could write it up here, but these are your x-intercepts and zeros, and so these are interchangeable, okay? They're synonyms, all right? So let's look here. All right, number one, we want to identify the x-intercept, or if there's two intercepts, y-intercept and zero. So we see here our graph goes through this point here. So on the x-axis, it goes through the point 0, 0. On the y-axis, that also goes through 0, 0. So in this case, the x-intercept and y-intercept are the same number. And so what is our 0 then? If our x-intercept is 0, 0, then it is the x value, so 0. That's it. Let's look at number 2. Okay, on number 2, our x-intercept, it crosses the x-axis right here, so that's at the point -3, 0. Notice our y-intercept, well, it never is going to cross it, and actually our graph stops right here. So it's never going to cross this y-axis. So we would simply say there is no y-intercept. There's none, okay? And then we have our 0 here, and our 0, remember, is the x value of our x-intercept, so our 0 is -3. In other words, this is the value when the function is 0. It's not positive, nor is it negative. So it's not positive, which is up here, nor is it negative here. So at -3, our function has a value of 0. All right, let's look at this one. So our x-intercept, right here, is actually the same as number 2, -3, 0. Our y-intercept crosses the y-axis here, so that is 0, 3, because that's the point. And then our 0 again is your x value of your x-intercept, right there. Okay, so that's how you identify the x-intercept, y-intercept, and the 0 of a function. So what you're going to do now is you're going to look and put it all together. So this is talking about everything we've talked about. Is it a function? Then you're going to identify domain and range. So domain, remember, put up those walls, range, floor and ceiling, x-intercepts, y-intercepts, and zeros. We'll do the first one together, and then you can try the rest on your own. Okay? So is this a function? Well, there are no overlaps. There passes the vertical line test, so yes, this is a function. Then we have domain and range. So let's see. My domain, I can draw a wall here and here. So that means that my domain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so -6, and it does actually touch that point there all the way to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, +6. So our domain is between -6 and +6. Our range, here's our floor and here's our ceiling. So our range is also a compound here. So our lowest point is 0 and our highest point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are our domain and range. X-intercept, well, if you see here, it crosses, even though it touches, that counts as an x-intercept. So it crosses at 3, 0. Nowhere else does it hit the x-axis. And then our y-intercept is all the way up here, which is the point 0, 6. And again, our 0 is just the x value of our x-intercept. So that's 3. So that's me identifying all the different characteristics of graph A. So go ahead and try the other 5 graphs, and we'll check it when you get to class the next day.